Hey guys, it's Roxie with Roxie's Broadway Breakdown, and today I am going to talk about partnering in musical theater. So I think partnering is so fun. It's always fun to do those big splashy ensemble numbers, but when you finally get to dance with somebody, I think it's really fun. Now, most of the time actually, you don't get to choose your partner. You're usually just paired up with somebody, and sometimes you get the luck of the draw and you really have great chemistry with that person. Sometimes it's the person you get to do the whole show with. If there's a lot of numbers you have a partner with and that's your partner for the show, sometimes it's just for one or two numbers, and then you may get another partner for different numbers. You don't know. It's all different in theater. But for whatever person you have for that number or that show, hopefully you have good chemistry with. It'll show in the number or in the dancing if you have good chemistry with them. But if you don't, I mean, you're just going to have to, pretend. You're just going to have to put on a good face, whether you do or you don't. But regardless if you have good chemistry, regardless if you like that person or you don't like that person, you're going to have respect, mutual respect, because you're going to have to trust them. And this goes for the guy or the girl. The guys have to respect that girl, and the girls have to respect that guy. Because you have to work together or it's never going to work. And the choreography will never come together. The lifts will never come together. Whatever you have to do will just never look right. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to you have to respect that other person's time and talent, meaning the other person has put in just as much time and effort to get into that show, whether it be training and auditioning. They have put just as much time to get into that show and have just as much talent. I assume if they've gotten in that show, they have just as much talent and right to be there as you. So you have to respect each other's time and talent. And it is a two-person effort thing. Guys, you have somebody's career in your hands when you're doing all these lifts, and you have to be focused when you're bringing them down, when you're catching them. I'm 5 feet and I'm very petite, and especially when I was younger, I barely weighed 100 pounds. And so there was always a huge height discrepancy with me. Most of the guys were 6 feet and above. And they were kind of able to just kind of scoop me up and do whatever. And one time a dancer wasn't paying attention. He wasn't really focused. And when he brought me down, it was rather fast. And he kind of dropped me. And I was trying to brace myself for the fall, but I ended up breaking a couple of bones in my right foot. I was really never the same dancer after that. And that's what I mean. Sometimes you can injure the person. But the girls, too, you can't just sort of run and jump into that guy's arms and just say, here I come, just be ready for me. Obviously, when you're in midair, you don't have much control, but you can't just kind of throw your full weight and then just say, here I am, So you gotta work together on this. And here's a good example. Now, I have no one with me right now. It's a crazy time and we're all kind of separated out right now. But this chair is going to be my partner for now. So, a very common lift in musical theater is, if this were my partner, it's when a girl jumps on the hip of a guy, if this is his hip. And it's where they do it's kind of a stag position. And he puts his arm around her hip, and she puts her arm around his neck. And then they spin around. So my weight, I'm very much supporting myself. My core is pulled up, and I am very much supporting myself. I'm I mean, I'm obviously sitting on the chair, so my full weight is on the chair, much like it would be my full weight is on my partner. But because I'm so pulled up in my core, I'm trying to be as light as possible for my partner in supporting myself as much as I can be. Whereas if I just slumped, you know, one, that wouldn't be pretty at all. That would be a very ugly position. But even if I put my legs in the right position and just kind of slumped my body, that would be a lot of dead weight for him to try and cart around and spin around, you know, in this lift. So that's what I mean. You can help yourself by staying up and light. That's a lot easier for him to scoop around and lift. Same thing, if you were having to be scooped up and put like on his shoulder, that's all your weight on his shoulder and back. You can't just sit up there, again, not pretty, but that's just sort of dead weight on him. You have to be supporting yourself and up, whatever the pose is with your arms, but be supportive of your core and try to hold yourself up rather than just like, yeah, I'm up here, you know, too bad you have to support me and hold me. You've got to have yourself supported up here for him, whatever the position may be, you know, whatever. So that's what I mean. Girls, you have to do your part. And guys, you have to be really careful with her and however you bring her down or however you're positioning her. You have to be conscious of each other. The other thing is when choreographers, they obviously want their choreography done in a certain style. And so when you're doing it by yourself or, you know, even an ensemble and you're doing it individually, you know, everybody's going to have their own style, their own little flair or pop or whatever. But when you're doing it as a duet or you're doing it with partners, you know, a bunch of different pairs up there, you can't just sort of ignore your partner. You have to work as a unit. You know, you have to try and have the same line, the same height with kicks or the same height with your arms. That's hard to do if there is a height discrepancy. But you have to really try and work together and make it look very synchronized. If you've ever watched like figure skating pairs, the best pairs look always so synchronized, whether it be the dance pairs or the pairs that are more athletic with the jumps and the spins. The best ones always finish the jumps at the same time. They spin at the same time. They have the same exact rotations at the same time. Their footwork is always spot on at the same time. And that's what I mean. It's the same with dance. You have to be like right on beat with each other. It's so much more noticeable when you're dancing with somebody to be synchronized than even when you're just in the ensemble. Obviously, you're on the same count, you hope. You're all on the same count of 8, on the same beat. But when you're dancing right next to somebody and that is your partner, you have to be really in sync. So you have to take the other person in consideration. You're a unit now. It's not just yourself. You have to consider yourself a unit as partnership. So while partnering is fun, it's a lot to think about, and you just have to work with the other person. And like I say, regardless of the chemistry, hopefully you do get along, but you have to have that mutual respect and admiration for each other. Hopefully it all works out in the end. All right, those are some tips to think about when partnering. Check me out on all my other videos. Subscribe to my channel. Give this one a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next.